Welcome back, everybody, to Crime and Plastic. And how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm wearing the same exact thing I was wearing last week. Scrubs.
And the week before that, and the week
And the
before
blue
that,
hat.
and the week
And
before that.
every day. How are you, Sin Rizzle?
I'm good.
How's the apartment coming along?
The apartment is coming along. Today, I woke up and I checked Facebook Marketplace and I saw these chairs that are like, whatever. If you're on Pinterest, you've seen these chairs a million times, like these postmodern tongue chairs, whatever. Like the original making of these chairs go for like $2,800, but even like dupes of this chair go for like $500-$600. And I found this guy selling two for $100,
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, this is not fucking real.
Yeah, this sounds like a good way to get kidnapped.
But the photos were like legit. Like every photo.
Well, tell him the story.
So I'm telling it. So every photo seemed legit. The guy had like one mutual Facebook friend with me, and like, for example, there was like 6 photos, and they all had like, they looked like someone's house. They didn't look like deep
Like a
fried.
crypt.
Like they looked like real photos.
Like
and-
AI generated.
right. Like they had like the same background. Like, I
Did
was
you
like,
count all the fingers and toes that they were?
I'm like, this is legit. So I'm like, I have a good feeling about this. So I'm like, can I be there in an hour? And then even at one point, he's like, oh, is your car gonna be big enough? And I'm like, oh, it's small. He's like, I'm like, I'll have just like a regular compact car. And he's like, it might be too small. So I'm like, if he was like a serial killer, he would be like, yeah, your car's big enough. Come on down. You
Right.
know, you wouldn't.
What did he say? Is your car big enough for a body? I mean, for the chairs.
So then I'm like, okay, I have a good feeling. Then I make a TikTok and I'm like, hopefully I don't get axe murdered. And then it just sends as a joke. And then it just sends my brain into this spiral like, oh my God, am I about to get axe murdered? So and then
Smart.
as I'm driving, I tell him like, oh, I'm 5 minutes away. Are you downstairs? Because I saw that he lived in a building. And he's like, oh no, I'm upstairs. You don't want to come up and check the chairs first? And I'm like, oh my fucking God, like I'm gonna get axe murdered. I'm like, no, I
Here.
don't want to fucking check them. Bring them downstairs now.
Here,
So-
have a drink.
So then he's like, okay, I'll be down. When you get here, park between the white car and the green Kia. And I'm like, this guy's trying to kill me.
Park next to the van where the door opens, and the other truck that no one can see.
Park exactly where we put the thumbtacks that'll
Yes.
deflate your car tires, please. And then I'm pulling up, and he lives across the street from like an elementary school. I'm like, he can't kill me in front of an elementary school.
Because that never happens.
No. So and then I'm like, I'm not fucking parking next to the green Kia and the white car, motherfucker.
No.
So I like park across the street, and I'm like staking out the building like really deep in my car because my windows are not even tinted. And I'm like, also when you message someone on Facebook Marketplace, it shows them like your Facebook account,
Right.
and like
They can recognize
I'm
you.
a baddie like on my Facebook account. I'm like, I'm such like, if you were trying to serial kill or something, like
You'd be a good target.
I would be a good target.
Yeah.
I'm like, it says I went to FSU, like obviously IQ not very high, like blonde.
True. I think blonde is probably all you need.
my last like updated photo was like when I was in college, and I was like, I don't know, probably-
Drunk like this.
Yeah, like drunk over some sink.
He's like, yes.
He's like, yes, a dumb one. Looks easy to carry. I've gained some weight since then, sir. Anyway, so I'm like,
I mean, the tip off is these chairs you say cost like $500 a piece.
I know,
And he's selling like 2 for $100.
but I don't know. I just like,
I mean, right there, it's like,
I'm like, maybe
For that alone, she had to give it a chance.
I had to get. I was like, I'll do a little drive by. So and then whatever, I'm there staking out the building, and then I see this little skinny guy come out, and I'm like, I could take him. And then I see his girlfriend come out behind him carrying the fucking chairs, and I'm like, this is what
carrying the duct tape and the zip ties.
I'm like,
He needed his hands free.
I know. I'm literally like, well, no. The first thing that went in my head was like, the sassy man apocalypse strikes again. Because why the fuck is she carrying the chairs? And those chairs are fucking heavy.
She was carrying 2 chairs.
She was carrying them one by one.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Whatever. So then I
Guy's a boss.
see them with the chairs. He looks skinny. She looks skinny. I could take them both. So then
Right.
I pulled up and I got the chairs.
Nice.
And now
Win.
they did not fit in my car. He was correct. So I had to order like an Uber XL and then have the Uber like follow me to here because I had to come to work.
These chairs are here now?
So now they're in the lobby downstairs.
They're my chairs. Thank you for delivering. How much owe you?
$1,000.
Well,
Aren't you proud that she came directly to work instead
Right?
of
that
dropping
is
them off
very.
at home?
You are.
She only got to work at like 1:00 today.
I know. I'm very impressed.
I did have the thought of like,
You are
I should just
maturing.
make the Excel go to my house.
You are almost as mature as a millennial, like a late millennial. You're almost there. News of the plastic surgery world, Rosie.
Yes.
Chula Vista cosmetic surgeon used cheat sheet to perform CPR on patient who later died.
Yeah,
What?
we talked about the Chula Vista. It's Dr. Chacon. No?
Look
No.
At him, look at him. Look at him.
No?
Yes, Dr. Chacon. You're right.
Yes.
But we talked about it. We talked
We
about the
did a whole
cheat sheet.
episode. No, but we did an episode on him.
Well, now he's facing charges of killing one of his patients during the breast augmentation, right?
Yeah.
And now they're saying that he used a cheat sheet while attempting to give the young mother CPR,
That's
according
not,
to
that's
new
not abnormal,
allegations
though.
of the California Medical Board.
But they have those cheat sheets. They have the ACLS like things
Yeah.
there that you're supposed to follow. I don't think that's necessarily wrong.
Well, no,
Is it?
no.
I mean, they
but
make you keep those cheat sheets under the crash cart so you could use them because it's not just the CPR. It's to use like for the defibrillator, like what electrical signal you see and what you should do.
But
and all
isn't the
that.
cheat sheet just?
well,
like you
here's the
staying alive?
problem. Here's the problem. It says, despite using the cheat sheets to try to save Espinosa's life, the board investigators found that Chacon and staff failed to follow the instructions on the cheat sheets.
Oh, okay, so they didn't. It's
wasn't
not
the-
they used the cheat sheets incorrectly.
Yeah, they right, correct.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
probably worse than not using them altogether.
Yeah.
Also found out that he was not a board certified plastic surgeon, as his website had claimed.
Ooh.
And yeah, there were also 4 other examples where Chacon allowed non-medically certified staff to
Yeah.
administer anesthesia.
Wait, what's his name?
Chacon.
Yeah, he
That's
had
his
his
first name or last
he
name?
had his RN.
Last
That's
name.
his last name. His RN got
Carlos
got
Chacon.
4 years in prison. She did a plea deal.
Right. Anyway, I just thought I saw the cheat sheet thing. I thought that was new, a little bit new information.
New information.
Okay. And do you have a story for us today?
No, again, not.
You
yes,
do or you
I have
don't?
a very good.
Oh, good.
Well, it's not a good. No, it's hard to say any of these stories are good stories, but it was. I'm always surprised to find stories that I haven't found before.
Right.
But,
Because you'd think you'd have seen
researching.
them.
Because every week that I look up stories, I'm like, okay, our podcast is over. I can't find anything new, and then they come up. So
My favorite story of all time is the train robber.
yes,
I got away.
You love that guy.
I feel like he did nothing wrong. That was a good story. Like there was no bad ending there.
Yeah, that was a good story. He outsmarted and outlived everybody.
I love that.
Yeah.
Even went to prison and got out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He was very likable. Okay, so today we will talk about Dr. Esfandiar Stephen Kadivar. So he called himself Stephen. He is an Iranian doctor. He
Uh-huh.
trained at the University of Tehran.
Oh,
Came to California and became a well-known, prominent Beverly Hills plastic surgeon.
Stevie.
Yes. Growing up in Iran, he grew up on a farm, ranching, farming. So that was always, his happy place.
Mhm.
So he bought a ranch in California that once he retired, he became a full-time rancher.
Nice.
So that was always his dream. He had a 200-acre ranch in Lancaster in Antelope Valley.
Living the dream.
Yes. it
That's
was-
also my
What-
dream.
Now, did he come, do you know age-wise, did he come after the Iranian Revolution or
He
before?
came before. He came in the revolution was 79, right?
Yeah.
He
mhm.
came in 75, I believe.
Okay.
So, and he had a wife and 2 sons. Had a nice life in California, and then on July 5th, 2006, sadly, he was found shot dead on his ranch.
Oh, he's dead.
Ooh.
yeah.
I was confused because I was like,
Not expecting that, right?
No.
no.
So he.
Who would shoot a retired plastic surgeon on his ranch?
So shortly before midnight, they get a 911 call from Nicholas Cordoba and his daughter Piedad. Nicholas Cordoba was his right hand man, his ranch hand. and they call in. They said that they were driving home, and they saw his boss basically laying on the ground, um, not getting up, looking like he was shot. So the police come investigate. They see that he was in fact shot and dead,
Hmm.
and there was so they do some investigation. There was no evidence of the house being ransacked, and no evidence of a robbery. So they didn't really have any idea what happened. So
Was there bullet casings or ballistics?
no, they just said
or-
that it looked like it was a high-powered rifle
Okay.
that he was shot.
Jesus Christ.
So then they call the family. The family comes to look at the house. It wasn't ransacked, but they did say that he had a safe in his office that had been removed, and in the safe there was $250,000.
Ooh.
So there was a robbery attached with this shooting.
Yeah.
They also found that the gate to the ranch was unopened, and
Was unopened?
was
Was
open.
opened,
Sorry,
okay.
was left open. And Nicholas Cordoba, the ranch hand, said so. The doctor had given him the night off. Him and his daughter lived like in a trailer on the ranch, and he gave him the night off. He said he wanted to feed the animals and do his own thing. And he said he locked the door when he left, and doesn't know how it got open. So they have really low.
How old is the ranch hand?
The ranch hand is 63.
She's old.
Yeah, he's old.
How old's the daughter?
I think
30s?
No, she's only 17.
63-year-old dude with a 17-year-old daughter living in a trailer on the
Yeah.
ranch.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So then they had low leads because everybody liked Dr. Cadavar. He was well liked. He was, nice guy, nice family. Like they had no solid leads to find out like who wanted to kill him.
Well, someone who wanted $250,000.
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
And then 6 months into the investigation, the Cadavar family, they announced a $50,000 reward. Still, by almost a year later, they had no suspects. So after the family leased the ranch to Cordoba so that he could manage it, because they still wanted their dad's
Legacy.
legacy to be taken care of, and they didn't really want to do it. So he already knew the ranch. So it just made sense to have him do it. Then the cops are, they just basically decided to just question everybody to see what they could come up with. So they have Cordoba come in with his daughter, and they just want to go over the night again, what happened, And then the daughter says something very strange when she's being questioned. She said that her dad, when they were driving back up to the ranch, her dad took his cell phone and was trying to run it over with his car.
What? Wait. Wait a second. I don't know. Would you tell the cops your dad was trying to do that? I'm not sure. Well, how old is she? 17?
16,
16?
actually.
My dad doesn't even text me certain things.
No, but the cops have ways of interrogating people so
I
that
don't know.
they basically make it seem like they already know.
I don't know
Well,
how
you're
they
hiding.
investigated
They're
her,
like-
but she said that she thought it was weird that her dad would he basically took his phone out, was trying to run over with the car, and she was like, "Why do you do and this was 2007, cell phones were
Yeah.
still
yeah.
expensive and cool. She's like, I want it. You don't want it. Give it to me.
For example, which my dad would totally run over a cell phone for no fucking reason. If he did that,
If you're just mad at it,
I wouldn't tell anyone because I know what that sounds like.
right?
Especially on the night someone was killed.
No, but I bet if they have a video of the interrogation, you would be more sympathetic to her because the cop probably made it kept questioning her.
I bet they were
Anything unusual happened? Are you sure
Yeah.
nothing unusual happened? 'Cause, you can't lie to an officer.
Yeah.
And then she's like, if they're a lawyer present or not, who knows? And then she's like, well, something unusual did happen.
Well, the thing is that unusual is relative. And so I'll be like, no, nothing unusual happened.
Right.
And then later,
My dad's crazy.
and then later if they were
And he
like,
shoots people sometimes. That's not unusual.
if later they were like, it's not unusual that he ran over a phone, I would be like, no.
No.
And what are they gonna do?
Nothing.
And what are they gonna do?
Nothing. You didn't think it was unusual.
I didn't perjure myself. you
You
mother-
did not.
I don't know. I would never tell
But you know
someone
what?
my-
That's the thing. When they asked the questions a year before, I'm sure they were taking notes. So then if your story changes a
Right.
year later, they know you're something.
Right.
Wait.
So
Like you can't remember your own bullshit.
You gotta say less.
Say
Oh
less.
yeah, you have to say less.
And you-
Say less.
You ask for a lawyer immediately.
Yeah, always ask for a lawyer.
even if you're
Even if they
you
say,
kn-
"Do you need one?" You say, "Yes, I
That
need
was
one."
that was the lesson of American Nightmare, which I just watched this weekend.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
It's
You
good.
told me it's good.
always.
Yes.
Watch
Even if
American
you know,
Nightmare.
Even if you know you're not guilty, you didn't do anything.
Yes, these two people
You
were not guilty at all, and
You
they
need a
made them
lawyer.
look like they were murdering hoaxer crazy.
Yeah, don't let them make you feel guilty like it makes you look guilty. Like, oh,
No.
why do you need a lawyer if you didn't do anything? Because they can lie to you. Cops can lie to you.
Yeah. People
They're
think
allowed to lie to you.
The fucked up thing about
You can't lie to them though.
What?
You can't lie to a federal officer though.
No, but they can lie to you.
They can lie to you. Yeah.
Yeah, they have no. They could lie to you. They could trick you. They could trip you up. They're experienced at doing that.
also like okay, maybe not on a federal level, but like even like your local police, like that's just some bum you went to high school with who needs a job. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're not all seeking justice. Some of them just want to clock out. So like if you seem like the easiest target, like you're the easiest target. Like
Where's the crime?
you were there, it's you, and they're gonna do everything in their power to make it you. So you know who's gonna help you? The person you pay,
Yes.
or the person
Good rule.
who's getting paid, maybe not by you, to help you,
Yeah.
because they also just want to clock out.
So the police go back to
Yeah, but if they're getting paid by the hour, they might work a little more.
Those motherfuckers not getting paid by.
I'm
the hour.
talking about the defense lawyer.
Oh
That work for you.
yeah, well if they're like a
public defender.
public defender, they're
Yeah, they're just
Well,
clapping.
they also a lot of them do it because they actually believe in it.
yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of that's what the good thing about like public defenders.
You know, it's not a great job to take.
No, but they
So-
have options, you know?
Yeah.
Like they took that job because
Yeah.
they actually want to help people. Whereas
Okay.
like the cop took that job because Burger King was all staffed up.
It's so not nice to say.
So
I
anyway,
would say the lesson is though, do ask for a lawyer. if
yes,
you're ever-
always ask for a lawyer. So
Arrest.
they go back to Nicholas Cordoba and they say, "Well, we just heard that you tried to run over your phone on the way to the ranch on the night that right before you discovered the body of Dr. Cadavar." And he was like, "Oh, because my phone was hot." And they're like, "Yeah, so why didn't you just wait for it to cool down? Why'd you run it over?" So eventually, after pressing him, he said, I wanted to run it over because I have the phone number of the murderer in my phone."
I have the phone number of the murderer in my phone.
Yes.
So he knows who the murderer
So he
is.
said the murderer is that he's 100% sure that Efrain Soto is the murderer. So Efrain Soto is someone that he shared the lease with for the property. And so when the family leased him the property, Efrain Soto invested $20,000 to fund the lease or the whatever. And he said that he always had a rifle with him and he didn't like the doctor and he always said bad things about him and he said he would wanted to kill him. So he said that he's for sure that he killed the doctor. So
But still, why would he, like, if he had that suspicion, why wouldn't he say that right away?
I don't know.
Maybe he just killed the doctor. Maybe he thinks he's not
Yeah.
on the list if he speaks.
Yeah, he said he was afraid of him, that if he
Right.
that if he said anything that he would come after him next, and plus he also was giving him the money for the lease, so it's like, he didn't want to be involved.
Right.
So a little bit like a month later, they find Efrain Soto. He's delivering hay, and he's in the back of his pickup truck dead. They find him dead on May
He killed himself?
May 2nd, 2007. So first, it was weird when the police investigators came to look at it. They said it wasn't a homicide. It looks like he had a heart attack or something.
Uh-huh.
And then the investigator, it was a different investigator than the one who was investigating Dr. Cadavar. But he was like, no, there's no way there's a coincidence that this guy's dead, like right after what I just heard. So he's like, we're doing like a very
Full autopsy, everything.
everything. And then it found out like he had projectiles, multiple projectiles. It was indeed a homicide.
He was
What
indeed
is
shot.
projectiles?
Yes.
It was like a bullet holes.
Yes.
Oh.
But
Pieces of bullets.
how does an original investigator miss that?
Because the entry wounds can be very small.
Oh, okay.
But there's no blood.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Well, I
You're
don't know.
taking bullets that kill you but not produce blood.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
It's possible.
Where do you shoot someone? Tell me, doctor. For the reasons of this podcast and not for personal knowledge.
If he's in a, if he's in a thing of hay, and he gets shot with a rifle in the right spot, and there's just an entrance wound and no exit wound, the bullet's still inside him, you can have a tiny wound, and the bullet could bounce around, hit vital organs, and not bleed through the entrance wound
This
that
sounds
much.
But no blood?
Yeah,
And that would show on the hay.
you'd be internally bleeding.
Oh.
Oh, it's just internal bleeding.
Yeah. No, I've seen bullet wounds where there's no exit wound. I've seen bullets that go into people's bodies and end up in their heart. In their heart, they go into the vein in the leg.
Was it just like
and
bouncing around?
No, it floats. It just no. It. I guess it bounced off a bone or something, and then it ends up in the vein, and then it floats up the vena cava and just sits in the heart itself. Little bullet.
Okay, can they get it from there or no?
No, that's it. Pretty much. It's not good. You could try. They try to fish it out.
From the heart?
Yeah, they fish it out like with a little thing. They go up the leg and they try to fish it back out, or they can do open heart surgery. But I'm just saying the bullet itself is tiny. It's not big. It's like that.
You know what I realized just right now?
Yeah.
That open heart surgery means they literally open your heart.
Well, they open your chest,
That's what I thought that was.
but they do sometimes open the heart though. If they put a valve in or something.
That's crazy.
I know.
You shouldn't be able to open someone's heart up.
It's cool.
I will be shitting bricks if I had to be the one to open them up.
Well, they take you off of your heart's not pumping anymore.
No,
They
I know.
And then they put you on a machine. So
Still, that's crazy.
it's nuts.
Okay.
So wait
So
a
then-
minute. So
so
they
this-
find out this guy was shot
Yes. So
just by coincidence right after the guy said
right.
that he was the murderer.
So then they start questioning Soto's family, and his son Jose says, "My dad loved being on the ranch. He was such a good guy. Like, I don't know what happened.
He loved the doctor.
He was very happy there." And so he said that Nicholas Cordoba told Soto's son that these two guys, Martinez and Verdin, had shot his father, Soto.
Who's Martinez and Verdin?
So they're also
Wait, I'm confused.
These are new
there's
characters
These
we
are
haven't
new
heard about.
characters. So they're also people who work on the ranch. These are just
How many people are on this ranch?
I don't know. It's a 200-acre ranch.
That's a big,
It's a big ranch.
It's a big
Okay.
ranch.
So they said they questioned Martinez, and Martinez says, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing to do with it." And then Verdin says, "Yeah, I was there.
I was there.
I was there. Marco Garcia is the one who shot Efren Soto." So then they bring Marco Garcia in for questioning, and he spills the beans. He says that yeah, he was in a lot of debt, and he needed money.
Who?
And Marco
Okay.
needed money, and that Cordoba, Martinez, and Verdin, the three of them, were telling him how bad a guy Soto was. So basically, Cordoba and Soto had some sort of falling out because I'm sure it was over money because I think Soto was funding the whole like operation, and Cordoba was just kind of like sitting back and letting him do the work. So whatever, they had some sort of dispute. So they like sold it like he's a thief, he's stealing money from us, he's a terrible guy, da da da. So if like, do you want to take care of this problem for us? We'll pay you $5,000. So he said okay. So he went and he shot Soto, and then Martinez and Verdin they helped like with the body. They put the body in they helped him like
Cover it up.
cover it up.
So it
and
looked
everything.
like he just fell of a heart attack.
Right, exactly. And then it turns out they stiffed Marco Garcia. They only paid him $1,000. They didn't even pay him his full money. So
That's why you always get half the hit money up front.
Yeah.
As like
The lessons people are
Basic-
learning from our
basic
from
hitman
our
101.
podcast.
Yes.
Always get a lawyer.
Who takes 20% up front for a hit? Nobody.
So
That's
then,
not even 20%. Or it is. Wait, Cordova is the one who tried to run over his phone.
Yeah.
yes. Cordoba's the ranch hand who called 911, who
But
discovered the
isn't
body.
Soto the one with the money?
Soto is the one who funded the money for the lease. But we don't know who has the safe,
No.
who stole the money from the doctor.
Oh no, I meant like
Yeah.
the money in general. For
Yeah,
the
he
lease.
has the money for the lease. That's Soto, but he already, I guess, paid it. And then Garcia, Marco, the one who shot Soto, agrees to help the police. So he calls Martinez.
Because he got stiffed.
Yeah, he calls Martinez and says, "Hey, I want my money. Like, pay my money." Martinez says, "I have nothing to do with that. Call Nicholas Cordoba." So he calls Cordoba. And he's like, "You need to give me my money." He's like, "Okay, fine, come." And this is all on a wire. Like, they have it all recorded. And he says, "Come, meet me here, and I'll pay you." So they go. He goes for the meeting. He's wired up. They video it, everything that he, and he only gives him. I think he only gives him like another $1,000.
So cheap.
Yeah, he doesn't even give it all. And then they still, so they still don't have, they have evidence for Soto's murder, but they still don't have like the evidence that
For the doctor.
for the doctor's murder. So but the police tell the doctor's family that they need to start like severing ties with Cordoba. And they're shocked because they're like, he was our dad's like right hand man. Like what's going on? And then they
Be like if Santina murdered me. Who would think such a thing? Impossible.
Rosie, you need to cut ties.
yes. So then they arrested Cordoba, Martinez, and Verdin for the murder of Soto. And the three of them were all friends. And then Cordoba had told so then Martinez confesses to shooting Cadavar because he's the one who shot him. And he said that Cordoba had kind of put him up to it also. They were really good friends. And he was saying that the doctor worked him like a dog and he didn't give him anything. And he was like abusive. And
I relate.
that he and that if he took care of it for him, that he would
Pay him?
he would take care of him for the rest of his life. Martinez, like Cordoba told that to Martinez, if you deal with the doctor for me, I'll take care of him for the whole life. And then so they were put on trial for the murders of Soto and Cadavar. Marco Garcia pleaded guilty to the murder of Efren Soto. He was sentenced to 28 years. Cordoba, Martinez and Verdin were found guilty of the murder of Cadavar and Soto. And then Cordoba was convicted of conspiracy in the murder of Soto, but the jury was deadlocked on the part of Cadavar
Killing the
doctor.
Where's the safe?
And they don't know. They never found the safe. And he was sentenced to life without parole
For conspiracy?
to murder.
Yeah.
That's the same sentence as murder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like you committed the crime.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's kind of fucked up.
No, why not? If you
Plus he paid them to do it.
If
That's,
you-
No,
No.
him in that situation. But I'm saying like somebody else, like
yeah.
No. If you are planning a crime,
It's like you did the crime.
it's like you did the crime.
It's just like
the
paying
fact,
somebody to do
the
it.
fact that you didn't actually pull it off, you should be punished as if you did, because only fate made you not pull it off. You wait
No,
till
but
he's
he
dead.
pulled. Yeah, so he was. So all three
The
of
guy
them.
the guy was killed.
no, I know, but like I conspired to rob trains like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
No,
you
but
go to jail
it's not just a conspiracy. You have to have like an actual act that shows your involvement.
with
it's not
one or
like,
more
Oh,
person.
oh.
With
Yeah,
one or-
with more than
or
one person. There's like an agreement and an act that you.
That's how they get all the mobsters. It's all
Yeah.
conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
There's two people talking
Plus-
about something.
I get to. That's fucked up. I don't think it should be illegal to conspire. It should
Well,
only be,
that is kind of a basic premise
You
of
should only. It should only be to
common
illegal
law
to
in the Western
conspire.
Hemisphere.
Because you're
It
thinking
should-
of conspire is like in your head, like doing
No,
something, but it's
but
not.
even if you're talking to someone like, I'm gonna rob this bank, and nobody ever robs the bank.
No,
but it's not just
you
that.
have to do an act.
Yeah,
An
someone has to
act.
rob. Someone
Oh,
has to
okay.
rob the bank.
No. You don't have to rob
No,
the bank.
but,
You have
like,
to, an act,
act
move
towards the
towards it.
robbing of the bank. Yeah.
If you buy a ski mask and you say, "Here, I'm giving you this ski mask. You should wear it when we rob the bank," that's a conspiracy. You've done an act towards it. You've
Yeah, but-
discussed how you're going to do it, and you've done a physical act for it. That's a conspiracy.
It's kind
Yeah, but
of sucks.
It kind of sucks. Don't conspire to do bad shit.
and also,
What am I gonna do for the rest of my life?
Just keep it in your head.
isn't it a crazy story though? This
It's
poor
not.
guy.
It's a poor plastic
He was like in
surgeon.
his 60s, living his best life.
I
He got his
know.
ranch, retired, and then this guy just killed him because he wanted his ranch.
You know, people suck.
That's very Saltburn.
Yeah, it was so mean.
Terrible.
It was like the family was shocked. They like gave him the ranch. They thought he was like a good guy. He was taking care of their dad's ranch. And
I was gonna say in the very beginning, I was giving Saltburn. Like the moment that the guy who was like the
don't know.
worker
I haven't
became
seen
the
Saltburn.
owner
Yeah.
is very Saltburn. But Saltburn,
Yeah.
Yeah. So But yeah, I thought that was really, really sad. Poor guy. It was like,
I saw this video just randomly came up on my feed of a guy who was sentenced, was found guilty to some crime, and he had snuck in cyanide into his hands, and when as soon as they announced the verdict,
I
he
saw that.
had
I
this,
saw that.
oh wow, and he died.
and he killed himself.
Oh wow,
I know.
crazy.
I saw that actually.
The guy's a G.
That's not G. Didn't he just? Guys, I saw a terrible crime.
I mean, he was older. He wasn't like a young. He was old
Saw a terrible crime
Yeah, it was like this
in
lady.
real life.
No,
Oh.
no.
on a,
On
on a
TikTok.
podcast
It was on TikTok.
Okay.
It's like recent because I think she was just convicted.
What?
It's like this lady that she has like 5 kids, but she only raised like one of them, and then like when her second son comes to live with her later on in life when he's like 13 or something, and he's on the spectrum. And anyway, long story short, she would make her son sleep in like a room underneath the stairs, like Harry Potter type shit.
Uh-huh.
And she had like cameras facing that room, and he had like slept on a tarp, and they were like, her and her oldest son who she lived with like starved him. And like
Why?
terrible, because they said that he was like, and you when like I saw clips of them like reading the text messages between the mom and the son, and they're like, oh, he's like, they're so fucking crazy. Like they think that the kid who's being starved is like fucking with them. They're like they would tie him up so that he couldn't like rest, and then if he like
Why?
dipped his head
For
the-
how long?
for hours and
That's
hours and hours,
terrible.
Why?
he ended up dying of like starvation.
Why did you bring that story to us?
I saw it, so
You bummed me out.
it was terrible. She just got
You were bringing up stories that you saw online, so that's
Well,
No.
I thought it was the guy gets convicted of his crime and he decides I'm going to take a cyanide pill that I snuck into the
that
thing.
woman needs to
I thought
die.
that was kind of
She
like
does need to
old
die.
school.
That's terrible.
I think, and then the brother
they both need to die.
the brother took a plea, and he worked with the cops, and then the mom tried to pin it on the brother, and the brother was pinning it on the mom, and the brother is totally remorseful. But like,
Crazy.
terrible.
it was just so terrible. And also the saddest part is like the son who died only lived with them for like a year and a half. Like they were doing this terrible shit to him for like a year and a half. It's
Ugh.
like you could like somebody
Listen.
else also like, oh, it's just so terrible.
Terrible. Child abuse is terrible.
Like she never signed him
How
up
can
for
you abuse your own
the
children?
moment he got to her house. Like she never signed him up for school, like nothing. And she never let him leave the house. Like
Terrible.
they would take turns. Oh, she would tell him, like the brother, like throw cold water on him now. Like she's like, tell him that you're gonna give him food, but don't actually. And I don't know, it's just like terrible things. And then when they did feed him, they would feed him like frozen food, like frozen chicken nuggets. And it was just so bad. 'Cause I think it all began that like he would sneak food in the middle of the night because he was hungry, I guess. And then she started putting locks on the food, and then he would be hungry, so he would like break the lock. So then she started like punishing him for breaking the locks, and then it became this like terrible cycle. And
Terrible.
it's just so like the texts are horrific. And then when they ask her like like what is this, she's like, I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember what you texted.
She doesn't remember any of her texts. Then like in court when they're reading out her text, she's like, like, kill yourself,
Fucking liar.
bitch. I can't stand her. Oh my god.
They should offer cyanide capsules. I
And
think,
then-
right by the defense table,
The day that
like M&Ms.
the day that he died, that she called the cops, she told the cops he was on a hunger strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dying of starvation is a horrible death.
Terrible.
Horrible. You start dreaming of food.
That poor
horrible.
kid.
It's terrible. Okay,
All right,
that was
so there's-
depressing.
yes,
Thank you,
sorry.
Santina, for
I
taking
was
us
really
there.
depressed when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the story of Dr. Kadavar. Poor nice guy who died by his ranch hand, killed him for his ranch.
And if you're gonna do anything deceptive after you conspire to murder somebody, don't do it in front of your teenage daughter because she might tell on you.
Yes, she might sell you out.
She might sell you out
That was
unintentionally
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that's what broke the case. They had no leads till then.
until.
Till then, she broke the case.
Always have a lawyer,
Yes.
kids. Always have a lawyer.
Always have a lawyer and no
Well, maybe
kids.
she hated her dad. Maybe she's like,
I don't
Maybe
know.
maybe she's the mastermind. Maybe she
Yeah.
gets the ranch now. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that'd be fine.
Maybe she's got the safe.
Yes, we got to check up on Pia Dad in a few years. All right, guys, that was it for this week. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye, guys. Stay
Bye.
beautiful.